What is going on, everybody? Today we're looking at the Hasbro Marvel Legends Venom There Be Carnage figures. So first we have Venom here, which was a Target exclusive figure. So we've already had Venom before, especially from like the first movie. So it'll pretty much be the same. I will do a comparison so we can see what is different. But I know he does come with some back pieces. Not sure yet. It doesn't even show on the box, but there's a nice picture of the poster there and then the Venom from the movie. But he comes with like back tendrils, I think, that come out of him. So that'll be pretty cool. But otherwise, I think it's relatively about the same, like same body and all that. It's just maybe some color designs. But then we get Carnage as well, as he appeared in the movie. Now he is bigger. You can see the box designs how much bigger he is, but it looks awesome with the bigger design. Of course, body wise is going to be relatively similar, so with that weird texture running through it. He has a lot of back pieces as well, and of course all the different weapons that his hands can turn into, so that'll look cool with that extra head with the long tongue. So just looks cool for that Carnage there as well to go along with Venom. So we got both of those, kind of late for the movie since the third one had already come out, but cool that they at least made these because we really like that Venom figure. So getting a Carnage to go along with it is pretty cool as well. So I'm excited to check these out. So let me get them open out of the box and we'll take a look at them together. So let's start off with the Target exclusive Venom, who of course is Eddie Brock. Now this is pretty much just a re-release of the figure we already have. We do still have this, so I will show you that comparison. There's probably not going to be much anything different at all with this, just besides some of the colors like the lightning and maybe around the mouths and stuff. And then this one does come with the extra accessory, so that'll be cool. But overall, just looks like Venom, especially from the Venom movie. So it has the all black body as usual. We get the big Venom head with the big smile with all the teeth there, the crazy looking teeth. Don't look like they are painted the best, but they look dirty and gross and all that. And then have the Venom eyes coming up there, which look pretty nice with the white there. So overall, not a bad looking head, just of course looks small for the body. Then we get the nice big body that has all this like textured and stuff around. I always thought it was cool with the first one, and now this one has it as well. And we get the white like lightning bolt sort of designs coming down up on the chest, a little bit on the arms and stuff there as well. And of course he has the claws there on his hand, and it goes down to the feet where he has the weird feet with like the toe that's off to the side, so it's almost like a gorilla sort of toe. Looks pretty decent overall, but like I said, unfortunately it's pretty much just the exact same figure we've had already. Now moon-wise, we do get that'll twist all the way around, and it can look down that far and up that far. So not the best range, unfortunately, but it's not bad. We get the shoulders that come up to 90 and rotate all the way around. We get the bicep twist and the double elbow joint that can bend up that far, which isn't bad at all. With the wrist that'll twist around and can hinge back and forth. Then we go to the ab crunch, so crunch forward, crunch back, there's nice crunching, and twist around in there as well. Then he has an ab cutout on the lower section, so it can crunch even further forward and back, so nice good crunching those there together. Then we go down to the hips, that'll come up to 90, out to the side, thigh twist all the way around. The double knee joint, that'll bend up that far to the back, not too bad. And the foot will flex back and forth and twist side to side. So that's really it for the movements. Like I said, not bad at all for it. Of course, a nice bigger figure here. They're bigger than normal Marvel Legends, so it is bigger in size, which is cool. But overall, works relatively same. Nothing new or out of the ordinary for him. Now, accessory-wise, we do get an additional head. Of course, we got to have the head with the tongue sticking out of it there, so that looks pretty good. So let's switch this out. So that looks cool with the tongue sticking out of the mouth there. And then he also comes with a set of hands, so just a set of fist hands, again with some of that white lightning design on it. Now before we add his last accessory, I do want to bring in that older figure here so you can see it. So here's the older figure compared to the new one. So yeah, they changed some of the colors. The lightning isn't as big and like thick and prominent as it is on this original one. And then this original one had a lot of like pink design to it compared to the more reddish color it has now. So I do like that design. One thing I don't like, or at least it doesn't seem like, is that this one doesn't seem as shiny. It has a little bit of more matte paint to it, where this one is a lot shinier. So I don't like the shiny because it reflects all the light. So that's one thing I kind of like the old one a little bit more for. But at least, relatively they're going to be exactly the same, just better paint job on this newer one, it seems like. But of course, with this new one, we do get back attachments with these additional little Venom heads coming out to the side. So let's plug these in his back. So there's those additional heads coming out, which, like I said, for like powers and stuff, that's not really anything I really care too much for, but it's cool just adding more to it. So we get these additional Venom heads. So we get one with the tongue out. We get one with just the teeth there. We get one with the mouth open, and this one, another teeth one there as well. And these aren't really on like bendy arms. Like they're thinner plastic, so you can move them around. They just don't like hold the shape. So they just kind of move around and go wherever, unfortunately. So don't really look the best because they're just kind of weird and off to the side and stuff. But it does add more to the Venom, and again, gives you something extra. So it's not just a complete re-release of the other one, just with better paint job. We get the better paint job, but then also add additional accessories to go along with it, so that makes it a little better. Still cool to get it, just nice to have these extra little tendril attachments. And then we've got Carnage, which was not a Target exclusive, even though it makes sense with it being all red. But we have Carnage, who is Cletus Kasady. And of course, I won't go through any of the storyline stuff. If you've seen the movie, you know. And of course, we've done Carnage many times before. But he just looks cool here. He's like the son of Venom, like, or at least his symbiote is supposed to be like a separated off part of Venom that turns Cletus Kasady into this red Carnage here. That looks pretty awesome. So he has all those, should be at least similar body compared to Venom. Of course, this figure, size-wise, is much bigger and it has a nice like texture and everything running through it, similar to that Venom. But then he has a little extra like tendrils sticking off to the side. Love how he's all red, but then has this black paint on top of him, so add some of that design. We get his face that looks relatively similar to Venom's, got the nice big smile, but with yellow teeth. Love the white eyes, but with all like the black sort of like creeping into the eyes there as well. So it always makes it like jaggedy and stuff, which is pretty cool. So that's a nice design. We get the nice sharp claws there on his hands, and then all the way down to he's got weird toes. So I love how he's got like almost like raptor claw toes there, again with those tendrils sticking all over his body. So looks pretty decent overall for Carnage. Moon-wise, we get that all twist all the way around. Can look down that far and up that far. A little bit better than Venom's, it seems. Then the shoulders will come up to 90. Of course, can only go that far because of the tendrils. And then twist all the way around. Get the bicep twist and the double elbow joint that bends up that far. Again, the tendrils are hitting itself, so it should be able to go a little bit further, but it can't. Get the wrist that'll twist around and should be flexing back and forth, but this hand I think is a little weird, but this hand, yeah, should be able to flex easily back and forth. Then we go to his ab crunch, so similar to what Venom had, so get the upper ab crunch back and forth there and twist around, and then the lower cutout ab crunch, so crunch forward and crunch back there, so good crunching those back together. Hips will go up to 90 and out to the side, thigh twist all the way around. The double knee joint that'll bend up that far to the back, not far at all from kicking his butt, and then the foot will flex back and forth and twist side to side. It's not bad for the movements. He does have pinless joints, so a little bit more worried about the joints, especially since he's a bigger body, but like the joints themselves, like the knees and elbows, are pretty thin, so worried about those breaking. And I do think we have an issue with this hand, like we've already almost broke it, like we had to heat it up and trying to get it to move. It's still like the peg is almost ready to break out, so we're almost losing a hand there, unfortunately, so have some issues with that, and it'll cause that we won't be able to use some of the accessories unless it does break off, then we would have to. But speaking of those accessories, first we get an additional heads like Venom. We get one with the tongue sticking out, so love how his mouth opens, but it's like his head's ripping apart, like his mouth is opening so wide with the tongue coming out of it there. So let's switch it out. So there's the tongue head, which I don't think I like it looks as much just because like the face and everything looks weird, but I do always like the tongue sticking out of him, so that's awesome. Then we get some additional hands, so we do get a right hand that's, you know, the claw hand, but then also his hand starting to form into a weapon because that's part of his powers. He can like form weapons out of his body. So we get this hand, but like I said, unfortunately with the way the peg is designed on this hand, we can't get it out without possibly breaking it, so I won't switch that out unfortunately. But then we also get a big hand that's now the full bladed weapon here, and we can try this on the left at least. So there's that big blade now, so he's ready to fight against Venom, forming a big blade there with his hand ready to chop him up. And finally he comes with some tendrils that we can attach into his back, so we get 3 different sets, which 2 of them have 2 pieces, so these 2 and these 2, and as you see they have the holes and stuff, so these actually have bendy wires so you can sort of get them adjusted. And then we have a third with this nice spike piece, so we get all sorts of different weapon attachments to them. So let's plug these in. So of course those are all attached on his back. Now I unfortunately don't think though that the bendy wire bends enough to be able to like get them curled around, so I think these are kind of pointless. Like it's cool that they have them, but I don't think they bend around and stick enough, so I don't know if we have to like heat them up to get them to curl around. But yeah, they just don't like curl around and stick enough, so he just has these big things now just sticking off his back pretty much like that is really all that it is. And of course with that it makes him really hard to stand. I already have issues enough getting him to stand without anything on his back, but now having all those, it makes it really difficult. So not the easiest thing to use with this Carnage here. It looks really cool, just like I said, the execution just isn't there enough like to be able to get it to work out, but probably have to put him on a stand or something just to be able to hold him up. They do look really cool, like I said, just they don't function very well, which is unfortunate. Although it's hard to get this Carnage to stand up, I'm just using his tendrils at the back to help keep him standing. But there we can have a face-off between Venom and Carnage, and you can just see how big Carnage is, especially compared to Venom. So Venom's already bigger than normal Marvel Legends, and Carnage is even bigger than that. So really cool to have them sort of facing off there together. So both cool figures, nothing wrong with them. Of course, the movies that they're from aren't that great, but the figures are pretty cool. I just wish they'd function a lot better, so we'll definitely have to take all those tendrils off of Carnage to keep him standing, but at least he came with them. I I just wish they would function a little bit better, but at least he looks really cool. So let me know what you thought of these two figures down in the comments, and if you enjoyed my review, let me know with that like, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button to see more. But I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.